The Kensington family estate, Greenwich, Connecticut. Christmas Eve, 7:42 p.m. The dining room is a winter wonderland. 30-foot table dressed in white linen and gold. Crystal chandeliers dripping light. 32 guests in black tie and couture. The smell of roasted goose and truffle risotto thick in the air. I'm Dr. Sophia Elena Harper, 33, newly appointed Chief of Emergency Medicine at Mass General. The promotion letter arrived this morning. But I haven't told anyone yet. In a custom red silk gown that hugs every curve I earned running codes and marathons. My partner of 4 years, Julian Kensington, 35, heir to Kensington Capital, the private equity firm that owns half the skyline outside, is at the head of the table, already 3 glasses of 1990 Chateau d'Yquem in, holding court like he owns the world, because his family thinks he does. The toasts have started. His father, Senator Charles Kensington, raises his glass to family and future. His mother, Beatrice, smiles at me with that thin, practiced sympathy she's worn since the day Julian brought me home. Then Julian stands. He looks around the table, smiles at his Harvard friends, his yacht club buddies, his ex-girlfriends in the crowd. Yes, 2 of them. Then he looks at me and says, loud enough for every silver fork to hear, "Let's all raise a glass to my beautiful girlfriend Sophia, who's been such a lovely addition to these dinners. Though, let's be honest, she brings nothing to the table, literally and figuratively." Laughter ripples, nervous from some, genuine from his corner. Beatrice's smile falters. My own father, Bronx fire captain, retired, drops his napkin. I feel every eye land on me, and the last remaining heartbeat of our relationship flatlines. I smile, not the good girlfriend smile, the one I use right before I call time of death. I pick up my phone from beside my plate, tap one button. The massive screen above the fireplace, meant for the family slideshow, lights up. An email notification fills the screen. From Board of Trustees, Massachusetts General Hospital, to Sophia Elena Harper, Maryland. Subject, Appointment Chief of Emergency Medicine. Effective January 1st. Compensation, $1.2 million annual plus equity package. Signing bonus, $5 million. The entire table goes dead silent. I stand. The quartet in the corner stops mid-note. I tap my glass with my knife. Crystal sings, "Thank you, Julian, for that generous assessment." Before we continue this lovely evening, I have a quick announcement. I turn to the screen. The email is enlarged for everyone to see. Turns out I bring $6.2 million to the table this year alone, plus the lives of every patient who walked out of my because I was there. So, cheers to bringing something. I raise my glass. Every guest, except Julian's parents, stands and drinks. Julian's face drains of color, so fast I think he might code. Beatrice actually drops her crystal flute. It shatters on the marble. I look at Julian. Nothing to the table. Darling, I just became the whole feast. Then I do the thing no one in that dining room will ever forget. I take off the 5-carat oval diamond he gave me last year. The one he bragged cost $1.5 million. I place it in the center of the goose platter. Then I pick up the carving knife, slice the first piece of goose, and hand it to Beatrice. "Mother, you always said you wanted the best cut. Enjoy." The table erupts in gasps. Julian tries to stand. The quartet strikes up. My father hits the road faster. Every guest, him with one except hand, Julian's parents, stands and applauds. I walk out. The doors close behind me. The last thing I hear is my father saying, "Son, you just lost the best thing that ever happened to this family." Greenwich, Kensington Estate, 11:57 p.m. The dinner has turned into a ghost of itself, guests pretending to mingle in the great room. But every conversation is about the promotion email still frozen on the screen above the fireplace. I'm in the library, my favorite room. Floor-to-ceiling mahogany shelves filled with books Julian never read, sitting in the leather chair that used to be his father's. My phone is on the table, the promotion email still open. The door opens. Beatrice Kensington walks in alone, still holding the slice of goose I gave her, untouched. She closes the door, looks at me for a long time, then does something I've never seen in 5 years of holidays. She cries, not delicate tears, real, ugly, shoulder-shaking sobs. "Sophia, I knew he was diminishing you. I knew he was cheating. I told myself it was just how men are. But tonight, you were magnificent." She pulls an envelope from her clutch, hands it to me. Inside, a trust fund statement, the Julian Kensington Irrevocable Trust, established by his grandfather. Value, $1.8 billion. Sole trustee, Beatrice Kensington. Sole beneficiary, Julian Kensington until marriage. Upon marriage, control transfers to the spouse if the trustee deems the beneficiary unfit to manage due to moral turpitude. Beatrice whispers, "I changed the trustee designation last year." After I found the messages with historial dates, the trust is yours the moment you file for separation. He never read the fine print. He thought it was his no matter what. I look at the papers, then at her. "You're giving me his entire fortune." She meets my eyes. "I'm giving you the justice my son never deserved." "Take it all, Sophia. Start with a ring." She kisses my cheek, real, wet, tasting like salt and freedom, then walks out. At 12:03 a.m., my phone rings, private number. I answer. A voice I know, Marcus Kensington, Julian's uncle, chairman of Kensington Capital. "Sophia, the board is convening an emergency meeting. Right now. We need you on the call." I put it on speaker. My lawyer Caroline Voss, who arrived quietly during dessert, smiles from the doorway. Marcus continues. "Julian has been using company funds for 3 years to cover gambling debts in Vegas and private jets for historial dates. We just discovered the accounts. The board vote is unanimous. We are removing him as managing partner, and we are offering the position to you. You've been the silent partner, running the healthcare investment arm for 5 years. You turned it into our most profitable division. The family needs you. The fund needs you. Say yes." I look at Caroline. She nods. I look at the trust papers, then at the camera. Yes. The board erupts in applause. Marcus, compensation, $85 million signing bonus, 60% equity, full control. The name change to Harper Capital is already filed. Effective midnight. I hang up. Caroline raises her glass. She's been sipping the same champagne I left on the table. "To the woman who just became the Queen of Wall Street in one Christmas dinner." At 12:07 a.m., the headline hits. Kensington Capital ousts heir Julian Kensington after viral Christmas toast. Dr. Sophia Harper named new managing partner. Julian wakes up to find his trust fund frozen, his company card declined, and his office cleared out. His mother's final text to him, "You brought nothing to the table." She brought everything. Boston, Mass General rooftop helipad, 3 months after the Christmas dinner that ended an empire. The city is glittering below us like a billion diamonds spilled on black velvet. The helipad is closed to traffic. Only us. I'm in a white silk dress, simple, flowing, the one I wore the night I walked out of the Kensington dinner. The hospital board has just voted unanimously to rename the emergency wing after me. The Sophia Harper Emergency Courage Center. Opening next year. I'm standing at the edge, wind in my hair. Looking at the skyline I helped save lives under for 10 years. Then I hear footsteps. I turn. Dr. Luca Valois, 38, French-Italian emergency surgeon. The man who consulted on my toughest trauma cases for 5 years. Always quiet. Always the one who stayed late when Julian left early. He's in scrubs under a leather jacket, holding a single red rose. He walks straight to me. I saw the video at 3 a.m. Paris time. I flew in immediately. I've been in love with you since the day you saved my patient with a thoracotomy I thought was impossible. I never said anything because you were with him. I'm done being quiet. He drops to one knee on the helipad. City lights behind him like a crown. He opens a box. Inside, a ring made of rare red diamond, shaped like a heart valve, set in platinum with tiny blue sapphires, the color of the Charles River at night. Sophia Elena Harper, marry me. Not to save you. To spend every sunrise proving you were always the miracle. The city below holds its breath. I don't make him wait. I drop to my knees with him on the helipad. Yes, 1,000 codes, 1,000 nights, 1,000 times yes. We kiss while the city lights flicker like applause. The video, filmed by the hospital drone, hits 1.3 billion views. Helipad proposal trends for 26 days straight. Julian watches it from his new studio apartment in Queens. Working as a pharmaceutical rep, he sends one text. Congrats, I guess. I don't reply. I just change his contact to patient 0. Closed file and block forever. Boston, Mass General rooftop garden, 1 year after the Christmas dinner that ended in empire. The garden is a miracle of glass and green. Orchids climbing the walls. The Charles River glittering below. The city skyline like a crown. The wedding is not in a ballroom. It is on the rooftop, where I saved my first life as attending. Rows of white coats form the aisle. The altar is the helipad, decorated with stethoscopes woven into garlands. Guests sit on benches made from old OR tables. I walk the aisle barefoot in a gown made of white silk and red thread, symbolizing the bloodline I just severed and rebuilt. Luca waits in black linen, barefoot like me, holding a single red diamond ring. The officiant is the little girl I saved 15 years ago, now 20, first-year med student at Harvard. She says, voice clear, today we marry the doctor who taught us miracles are made by human hands. There isn't a dry eye on the rooftop. Our vows. Luca, I waited my whole life for the woman who could make a heart beat again with her own hands. Marry me, and let's spend every sunrise proving the world wrong together. Me. I was told I brought nothing to the table. You taught me the table was always mine. Yes, 1,000 codes, 1,000 nights, 1,000 times yes. We kiss as the sun sets behind the Zachem Bridge. The guests throw confetti made from old EKG strips. The party lasts until dawn. The video, filmed by the hospital drone, hits 1.5 billion views. Rooftop vows trends for 30 days straight. 2 years later, the gates of the Mass General Harper Cardiac Courage Wing. The foundation has launched. Harper Cardiac Courage, for kids with heart defects who need to learn no is a complete sentence. The gates are new, glass with my initials in gold. At 4:47 a.m., he's on his knees. Dr. Harper Valois. I walk out. There's a man at the gate. Julian is there. 41, thin, wearing a cheap suit. Knees in the concrete, holding a single red rose. He looks up. Sophia, I know I have no right. I saw the foundation launch. I sold my last asset, the $8,000 from my car. It's in this envelope. For the kids, I don't want anything. I just want them to have what I took from you. He holds out the envelope. I take it, open it. Inside, $8,000 cash and a letter. I read one line. I brought nothing. You brought everything. I look at him for a long time. Then I kneel in the concrete with him. I take his hand. Stand up, Julian. He does, shaking. I hand the envelope to security. Deposit this into the foundation. Anonymous donor. Then I look at Julian. You don't get to kneel anymore. You get to volunteer at the foundation clinic every month. That's your penance. That's your redemption. He cries so hard he can't speak. I walk away. The gate's close. Boston, Harper Valois Estate, 5 years after the Christmas dinner that changed everything. The estate is now a kingdom of healing. The Sophia Harper Cardiac Courage Center covers 500 acres. Hospital, school, ocean therapy for kids with chronic illnesses. I'm 40, hair with the first silver threads from night calls. In a white linen dress that flows like the wind through the roses. Luca is beside me, 42, still the man who makes my heart skip like the first time he knelt on the helipad. We're in the private villa overlooking the ocean. The one I built with the first profits after taking over. The bedroom is open to the terrace, moonlight spilling in like liquid silver. I'm in labor. Our first child. Luca holds my hand, counting contractions like he's counting beats in a symphony. The midwife, the best in the Northeast, flown in by helicopter, smiles. It's time. The birth is fast, fierce, perfect. A girl, 8 pounds 4 ounces. Crying like she already knows the world is hers. We name her Vittoria, Rosa Harper Valois. Vittoria for victory. Rosa for my grandmother, who taught me to never be less. Luca cries harder than I do. He wraps her in a tiny blanket embroidered with heart valves. Then he whispers to her, "Welcome to the world, little one." Your mother turned a whisper into an empire. You get to grow up knowing you bring everything to the table. 2 years later, the Foundation Harvest Festival. We call it Harvest of Hearts. The foundation has grown. Harper Cardiac Courage now funds 400 children a year with life-threatening heart conditions to receive surgery, therapy, and a future. The festival is on the lawn. Hundreds of kids, families, doctors. Julian is there, volunteering as promised. He's sober, quiet, working the heart health station with the kids. He's good with them, gentle, a little boy with a congenital defect, the same one I would have operated on collapses during a game. Julian is closest. He drops to his knees, performs CPR until the boy coughs and breathes. The boy's mother sobs in Julian's arms. I watch from the terrace. Luca's arm around me, Vittoria on his hip, pointing at the balloons. I don't go down. I don't need to. Some redemption happens in silence. Boston, Harper Valois Estate, 30 years after the Christmas dinner that changed everything. The sun is rising over the Charles River, painting the water in colors that look like forgiveness and victory at the same time. I'm 89, hair white as the clouds, still in my white linen dress, because some mornings deserve to feel like a wedding. Luca is beside me in spirit. He passed peacefully 8 years ago, holding my hand, whispering, "You were always my miracle," until his last heartbeat. The estate is no longer a house. It is a kingdom of healing. The Sophia Harper Cardiac Courage Center covers 1,000 acres. Hospital, school, ocean therapy for kids with chronic illnesses. Every summer, children who were told they'd never walk swim with dolphins. Every year, the flagship fund, Nothing to the Table, donates billions to first-gen medical scholarships. Tonight is the 30-year anniversary gala. The lawn is filled with 20,000 people. Every child we ever saved, now doctors. Parents, grandparents, every doctor we ever trained, every family who ever said Amen when medicine said, impossible. A single altar stands where the Christmas table once was. On it, the original carving knife from that night, now gold-plated, engraved. For every woman who was told she brought nothing, you were always the feast. Our granddaughter, Vittoria Rosa, 30, pediatric cardiac surgeon, my successor, steps to the microphone. She is the mirror image of me at that age, only taller, fiercer, kinder. She raises the microphone. 30 years ago, my grandmother was told she brought nothing to the table at her own family dinner. Tonight, the entire world celebrates the woman who became the reason millions of children still have tomorrows. Nana, the stage is yours one last time. She steps aside. I walk forward slow, with Vittoria's arm in mine. The crowd rises. I do not speak long. My voice is soft, but the microphones carry it to every corner of the planet, because the gala is live-streamed to every hospital in the network. 30 years ago, a man said I brought nothing to the table. Tonight, 20,000 miracles stand here, because I became the whole feast in the best way, by choosing myself, by choosing love that nourishes instead of starves, by choosing children who needed someone to believe they mattered. This estate is not mine. It is theirs, and it will never end, because love, when it refuses to be diminished, becomes the loudest heartbeat the world has ever known. Amen. 20,000 voices answer. Amen. Then the final miracle. A man walks slowly from the back, leaning on a cane. Julian, 68, alone, wearing a simple linen shirt, eyes down. He stops at the altar, looks at me, bows deep, complete. Then places a single red rose on the carving knife. He speaks, voice breaking. I came to say Amen, and to thank the woman who taught me, too late, what bringing something really means. He turns and walks away into the sunset. No cameras follow. Some endings are private. The crowd lights 20,000 candles. The sunrise becomes a sea of fire and light, and the woman who was once told she brought nothing becomes the reason the entire world learned how to feast on their own worth. What did you think of Sophia's story? Did the brings nothing to the table line give you chills? Did the board takeover make you scream? Did the final Amen destroy you in the best way? Drop your city, your 0, 10, and tell me in the comments, what nothing moment would you turn into your everything? And if this story made you feel seen, made you cry, made you believe in second courses, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the bell, and join the family that knows you always bring everything to the table. Because every week we tell another story of a woman who refused to be less. You don't want to miss the next one.